They told me today that you got to see it yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Get
Cool.
ready for a good time. The hit Broadway show Motown the Musical tells the story of Berry Gordy, Jr., the man behind music legends like Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, and Smokey Robinson. Have you heard of them? The play stars Brandon Victor Dixon, and he plays the music mogul himself, and it is an honor to welcome him to the couch today.
It's a pleasure to be here, John. Thank you for having me.
First off, what a dynamite show.
Well,
I mean, 50 songs? There must have been at least 50 songs, right?
I mean, certainly. I think like 65.
65
We began
songs.
with over 100. This show used to be like 4.5 hours long.
How do you decide what music goes into the show?
It was really difficult, you know. I mean, trying to put together a show like this that encompasses all these artists who could have their own individual musicals.
Exactly.
It was very difficult, but, you know, I think over the course of time, just kind of workshopping this show, it began to make itself clear, you know, what songs are really going to move our story forward and what songs were just going to be fun for us. So we actually used to have a section at the end of the show where it was, you call it, we'll play it.
Really?
Yeah, but the show, again, it was too long. We couldn't do it. Plus, it's like people are going to start calling out names of songs and the band couldn't play.
Well, I'm just watching some of these clips. That young man who plays Michael Jackson.
Oh, yes, Raymond Luke Jr. He's
Dynamite.
fantastic.
And there's a number with Michael Jackson, and the crowd stops the show. I mean, it literally stops the show.
Well, it's pretty amazing. I kind of remark on it every night when I see it. Just the second those 5 boys come out, everybody knows immediately who they are,
Yeah.
and the celebration of really what Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 did for us in music and kind of the iconic image, the myth of Michael. It's really amazing to see that play out for people.
There's a gasp. When you see him in silhouette and then they start singing. But then there's also a gasp when you realize, you know, they left Berry Gordy. And this is a story about people leaving Berry Gordy.
Yes, it is.
And we were talking just real briefly. Berry Gordy wrote this show, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is Berry's show.
This is his show,
It's
top to
his
bottom.
take on the history and the people that left him, and also the love affair that he had with Diana Ross.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our show is very much... Well, you know, when Berry created the show, he said he wanted to make it for the Motown fans and to honor the Motown fans, the people who made Motown popular, but also to honor these artists. And the whole theme of our show really is about, you know, Motown was a family. They made that music. They were kids making music out of love, you know? And he said the thing with families that, like, you love them and you raise them, but you have to love them enough to let them go. He raised them to be these huge stars, but then he was upset when they wanted to leave him. But that was the lesson that he had to learn.
But also, you're very candid. You know, for Berry writing the book, you know, he comes off as the kind of guy that he created competition amongst the stars.
Yeah, competition breeds champions.
Yeah, but there was also some ill will at times, but he didn't really hold anything back for the show.
Oh, well, you know, Berry wanted to be honest, and you know, he says that the truth wins. Truth is a hit, and he wanted to be honest about the fact that, yeah, you know, they had these relationships, and not everything was always smooth, but they were a family, and they were working hard to make not only their lives better, but the lives of the people around them better, and that struggle comes with ups and downs, but at the end of it, there's always love.
Well, but you also put it in context of the civil rights movement. You have Dr. King and Dr. King's assassination and what that meant. And as a kid growing up in Detroit, I remember the riots.
You grew up in Detroit.
Yeah, you bring up the riots, too.
Well, they're inextricably linked. I mean, I think that's part of the power of our show, the memories, the history that people have tied to this music. I mean, it's one of these things, they talk about the civil rights movement. I think people don't actually give Berry Gordy as much credit as they should. I mean, really, we were united through the music before we were united politically.
Wow.
And Berry was very smart about it. I mean, he also had a relationship with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was a Motown artist. He was signed to a contract.
You show that. Yeah, you see Berry Gordy making Martin Luther King records in the show.
We used to have a scene in the show where they were playing pool and they were talking about the contracts that they were drawing up, because he recorded all of Martin Luther King's speeches.
Yes, yes.
And he sent them out so that people would hear the words of Martin Luther King, and also, you know, he really just is just a huge supporter of the movement.
But then you tell the story of how Stevie Wonder got involved with the holiday, and then the guy who played Stevie Wonder yesterday,
Ryan Shaw,
Wow.
3-time Grammy Award nominee Ryan Shaw. He's fantastic. And actually, we're doing a show at the Cutting Room this coming Monday at 8 p.m. on April 21st. You all should come check that out if you can.
Well, and then it's like you're sitting there in the thing, and I took my daughter and I said, this person, this person, this person. And each time you'd see another act, it was like, that's my favorite one. This young lady who plays Diana Ross.
Ah, yes.
You see that woman smile, her eyes, the bright eyes that you fall for in the show.
Those
and then
big eyes.
She does the number where she's a solo act and she gets the crowd involved.
Reach out and touch.
It's amazing.
It really is. No, Crystal Joy Brown, she joined us in January, and she's been just a fantastic partner in this show.
Has Diana Ross seen the show?
Diana has. Diana came opening night, and then she also came like about a month later. Like she's been a great supporter.
Well, Diana Ross also, there's, you know, a couple blemishes there too, because she leaves Berry Gordy too.
I don't know if that's a blemish for Diana Ross.
Yeah.
You know, I think you know, one of the things, again, as we were building the show, Barry, he loves Diana, and she was Motown's greatest star, and he celebrates her, yeah.
But I must confess, my favorite number, the last number you sing as Berry Gordy Jr., realizing that he's lost all of this, but there is still love. Very powerful. You're moving, you're singing, you're like screaming. Where do you get the energy to kind of not only take on the soul and sound of Berry, but to sing, you know, that powerfully every night?
Well, I mean, part of it is like you said, the history, the story, the legacy of these artists and the music itself. But part of it's the audience. I mean, you saw how the audience feels, that collective, the energy, the way in which the audience is engaged. Like that, really, we feed off of that, and that really drives our performance and drives the show. And that number, "Cannot Close the Door," in particular, like it's such a capstone to the show. And Barry wrote the song for the show, and it's such a special song that by the time you really go through that journey of building the relationships with these artists and losing them, and that you're primed for
You're ready for that song.
Ready for it.
Hey, get ready, because you don't have that much time. Celebrating 1 year yesterday. Congratulations.
Thank
You're
you.
only with the show how much longer?
A few more months until June 15th.
And then what do you got cooking? This guy's like owns Broadway. What else?
I'm working on it. I mean, actually, the choreographer of our show, Warren Adams, one of our choreographers, he and I formed a production company called Walk, Run, Fly Productions, and so we have a couple of projects in the pipeline. We're co-producers with Harriet Levy and Raise the Roof on of Mice and Men, which is opening with James Franco, and Hedwig and the Angry Inch with Neil Patrick Harris. You also check that out as well. Yeah. We have some things going, so you know.
You're going to take a nap today?
I am going to take a nap today.
Well, Brandon, Victor Dixon, I can't thank you enough.
No, it's been my pleasure.
And
thank you.
Take your kids to go see Motown the musical. It's a great lesson. It's at the Luntfontein Theater. A great, wide open, I love that theater too, right there on West 46th Street. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. My pleasure.
What a treat.